I'm Japanese.
Okay.
I lived 6 months. My husband is English. I lived in 6 months in Tokyo, 6 months in the UK.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. So last September, we went back to Tokyo to enjoy the Rugby World Cup. And then we came back.
That feels like a lifetime ago, Kasumi, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I can't believe that was last September. It feels like it was 20 years ago.
That's right.
Yes.
So I came back with my husband a little bit earlier than planned, and March the 13th.
Right.
We normally live in Mirabel, and but unfortunately, because we came back a little bit earlier,
yes.
the flat wasn't available, so we rented a very short term. We lived in a flat in Mile End, Tower Hamlet.
Oh, yes.
And then in Japan, the corona started end of January, and by end of January, when the Chinese tourists came to Japan, millions of them during the Chinese New Year holiday.
Yes.
So everybody in Japan, 95% of its population has masked up as soon as the case spread. So when I fly back in London, Heathrow Airport, there's no temperature check, nobody's wearing a mask, and when we step out our flat in Tower Hamlets, Mile End, me and my husband is the only person on the street wearing a mask and wearing gloves when I go to supermarket. Everybody's staring at me.
Yes.
Some bloke shouted at me.
What did he shout?
I couldn't remember, but maybe because they thought I'm a Chinese woman spreading a virus.
Oh, God.
And then and when I went to the supermarket, the basket is filthy. There is no hand sanitizer. And I thought, I need to get out of here because tsunami of death is coming. So we contacted our friend in Suffolk, trying to find some sort of holiday accommodation or something.
So you wanted to get out of London?
Yes, because no sanitizer, no mask, and people harass me.
But can I pause you, because I want to understand the cultural difference here between what the mask means on the streets of Tokyo and what it meant on the streets of Mile End. And I think the difference is going to be linked. I mean, part of it is familiarity, as you acknowledge. It's almost second nature in Japan to wear a mask during a time of outbreak. But how did you feel? Because I'm really interested in how you felt when you stood out so starkly, because I felt I would feel a bit ridiculous, whereas you are looking through the other end of the telescope and you feel all of your negative feelings are directed at everybody else. And you're right and I'm wrong on this, clearly, but I'm fascinated by the psychology of it. It's just because you somehow know that everybody should be wearing a mask, so you will never feel ridiculous for wearing one. Have I got that right?
Yes, because it's culturally in Japan. People start wearing a mask from November because when the flu season starts. So if you get on the train or walk on the street, you see, irrespective of corona, 20-30% of the people are wearing a mask. Or the mask season starts from November till, say, May, April, because of the flu season.
Right, and that's why when we see... Because here's another thing. No, I understand what you're saying. You don't wait for a pandemic to do this. Anything that could be infectious or contagious in the context of viruses during winter is something that... So when people wear masks, they're protecting the population as much as themselves.
Of course, and then
don't say "of course" like that. I know you're right, but I'm trying to break through the skulls of British politicians who don't understand this. Still, we need your help. It's not a sign of being frightened of the virus. It's a sign of caring for your neighbours.
Yes, and also it's not just the flu, but also the hay fever. Okay. Hay fever season starts in Japan quite early.
So it helps with that as well. Yes, of course.
It'll help you. So you know what happened? The result of this is that the death toll in Japan of this pandemic is less than 1,000 so far.
Good grief.
The population is 120 million, which is twice as big as UK.